We're going to take a look at the world of Medi Medi Advantage Plans at a high level, kind of educational level, just so you understand kind of what we're getting, what we're giving up, and how the whole thing works, who's eligible. But this is really kind of entry level. And if you have questions beyond that, reach out to us. We're happy to help out. But let's try to understand the strategy around Medi Medi and who it works well for. Let's jump right into it. First of all, what is Medi Medi? That's shorthand for people who have what's called full dual, meaning they have Medicare and they have Medi-cal. These are two different worlds, two different entities altogether. Medicare is generally for people who are 65 and over or who under 65 with permanent disability status. It's a separate healthcare program. Usually we think for seniors, but really for anyone who's eligible for Medicare. And again, most people get it when they're age 65 or over if they've paid into the system over their life. Then there's Medi-cal. That's California's version of Medicaid. It is generally based on income. Can be some other triggers, but it's generally lower income triggers different levels of eligibility for Medi-cal. Now, there are a lot of people, maybe 25, 30% of people eligible for Medicare that are also eligible for Medi-cal. And that's where the Medi Medi term comes from. What happens is these people get basically the core benefits from Medicare, and they also get help reducing costs from Medi-cal. And then the two, in a perfect world, should work together and contract and negotiate with each other to kind of bring down cost exposure to people who are Medi Medi. So that's one piece of it. And for Medicare, that's pretty straightforward. For Medi-cal, you reach out to your local Medi-cal office in the county to establish if you qualify. But where it opens up a whole nother question mark is with what's called Medi Medi Advantage Plans. So let's turn our attention to that piece now, because that's usually what people mean when they are talking about Medi Medi. They mean this whole suite of options available to people who are eligible based on Medicare and full Medi-cal, also called full dual. Let's go there now. Medi Medi Advantage Plans. We're going to keep this real high level just to understand. We're not going to go into the weeds of the plan benefits. But essentially, there are advantage plans which were designed just for people who are Medi Medi eligible, have Medicare and Medi-cal. These plans are different, and I'm just going to do a high-level kind of trade-off to help you understand why you would look at those versus other options. First of all, if you have Medicare, then there are holes in Medicare with primarily the deductibles, the coinsurance that we want to address. Again, Medi-cal can fill in some of this. Well, the Medi Medi Advantage Plans came along and they said, look, what we're going to do is build it in generally an HMO. There are PPO Advantage plans, but the Medi Medi plans tend to be HMO, wrapper. And what we're going to do is we're going to take over core Medicare. Medi-cal is going to interweave through this plan, and then we might be able to offer richer benefits outside of traditional Medicare. And we won't get into those because technically we're not allowed to. But you might start to see core benefits that are richer add-ons to what you would get with just Medicare and just Medi-cal. And in theory, the two will work together well. So there's a lot less coordination because a lot of people who are Medi Medi, all the healthcare world with claims and paperwork is overwhelming. And so the theory is if we can have these two disparate systems, different systems work together, integrate better, it's going to be easier for the member. And the goal is to provide better health care, meaning if there are certain health issues this person has and the two worlds, the left hand and the right hand, are working together, then we can address those so things don't get out of control or end up in a hospital. We can manage healthcare better. So the theory is you're going to have additional richer add-on benefits, and you're going to have more kind of coordination between the two worlds to make things easier. So easier and richer is kind of what's being proposed with Medi Medi Advantage plans. Let's dive a little bit more into then how do you compare them? What are some little quirks on there? And what's the flexibility you have as a Medi Medi member to make changes? And this part's really cool starting in 2025. All right, so a couple things. One, you're going to notice, and we'll show you how to run a quote, your own personalized quote below. No cost, no obligation, but so you can see the plans available in your area. You'll notice that the Medi Medi plans have a high out-of-pocket max. It can be $8,000 plus. Well, why is that? I mean, that seems scary if you look at the other plans. Well, if you are truly Medi Medi, Medi-cal is going to absorb a lot of your out-of-pocket, if not all your out-of-pocket costs. So the theory is these plans will have a higher max. Medi-cal is going to pick up to that, and then they can take what would usually pay or the cost that would go towards the big expenses, the out-of-pocket max, and do all these other richer benefits outside of traditional Medicare. So that's the theory. So don't let the high number fool you. If you're truly Medi Medi, Medi-cal is going to eat up a lot of that. You're going to see really rich benefits when you click on the plan details when you run your quote for everything else. That's that whole piece there. Now, when you run your quote, I want you to select at the very top, show special need plans. Medi Medi plans are under what's called SNPs or special need plans. And if you click on that at the very top, it'll then show you those. And then you can even filter by the full dual, which would be people with Medicare and Medi-cal. So you can see the plans in your area that are Medi Medi. So that makes it much easier to compare and see what options are available. Generally, there aren't going to be a whole lot of options. And keep in mind, some of the special need plans are built around having specific conditions. That's why I like you to click on the full dual at the bottom, so you're getting just Medi Medi and not all the other chronic condition special need plans. So you have your plans there. You can compare them side by side. You can drill in, put in your doctors. You can put in your medications, see which plans treat those better, knowing that Medi-cal is going to pick up a lot of out-of-pocket costs. But really look at the networks, because that's a piece that's going to be different, where with Medi Medi these days, you're really kind of comparing based on who works with your doctors and hospitals, because they all tend to be pretty rich on all the other core benefits, and Medi-cal picks up a lot of your costs. So really zero in on doctors, hospitals, and also focus on the star rating to compare different plans that seem pretty comparable otherwise. If it all seems overwhelming, reach out to us. We're happy to help out. There's zero cost for our assistance to compare the Medi Medi plans available in your area versus other options. And because you don't have to go Medi Medi, it's just an option to you. And you would only do that if there's an advantage there for you. And that's where it gets complicated. And we're happy to look at that for you. If you stuck around this long, thank you. We appreciate it. You probably have more questions. Reach out to us. There's zero cost for assistance. You can call, email, chat, or best yet, book a time, and we can go through your personal situation to address any questions regarding California health insurance. Because a lot of sources out there are nationwide, and California is really unique. We need to go through the specifics of your situation in your area to find the best options. We don't push. We don't try to sell anything. We answer questions. And if you look at our Google reviews, you'll see that reflected in how we deal with this. We're happy to help. Reach out to us and do us a big favor. If you could like and subscribe below, that's fantastic, so we can keep bringing this information to California.